couple hundred coaches watching you lead a practice.
Yeah, it's all right. It's good. Players seem to have a little pep in their step. Good to get on the main floor too, right, and get some shots up. Don't get to do that very often on non-game days, so that's good.
How many of these things did you go to in your journey to get here?
Probably a lot. Yeah, back in the day, it was probably a little more popular than it is today. These things, coaches' clinics were going on a lot, especially in the fall. But I think the biggest thing, what I'm not sure happens as much anymore, we spend the whole summer doing this stuff, right? I mean, one camp after the next, where coaches were holding clinics just about every night of the week in the summertime. So that was obviously a good education way back when, back in the 80s.
What do you feel an experience like this can bring to these community coaches, whether it's university or just locally?
Well, I hope the biggest thing they get is they can just understand the importance of team defense. They can see some of the drills that we put in to develop that and foundationally build it, and then also understand what we're trying to do on offense with spacing and moving the ball, and again, all the drills that kind of lead up to that. You get to see the finished product, or the whole, as we call it in education, and then we show them the parts here today that get you to the whole. So hopefully they take that with them, take it back to their teams, and you can start, we think it's a good way to teach basketball. It teaches them how to play every position, teaches them how to read the game, right? And I think that makes for better players down the line.
Does this feel more important to you now, just given your role as Canada basketball?
A little bit, I think, but I always have it as a high importance to try to, pass along any information. Anybody who wants to know things about coaching, we always try to give them as much information we can and get them started, keep them interested, whatever it is, and try to build a kind of a right way to play mentality as far down as the grassroots as we can.
Did anything change this year, you being a champion? Last year was 400, this year 600 trainers, coaches. So did you change anything in your workshop? Is something out of the ordinary?
No, not really. The only thing that changes is we got a big banner hanging up this year, and we all got really nice rings. But no, not really. I think for me, a lot of coaching is can you day to day strive to improve yourself, right? Can you try to get yourself like these guys done and get themselves in areas where they can learn something, get some ideas and thoughts, and then take them back home and start scratching them out on their pads and trying to figure out how it makes sense to them and how they can best to use it with whatever age group they're coaching at.
How big was last night in terms of getting this team back in their right direction, especially early, those bunch of threes? Was there a feeling of relief for you guys when they started going down?
Yeah, I think so. I think that it was certainly nice to come out and hit a bunch of those early. I think we fed off the energy from that, and a little bit more like we're used to, right? Coming down and playing and making open shots and continuing to create them. And I liked it was spread out. There was a lot of guys involved in shooting those, and that's again, we got to take what's there, and usually it changes each time down the floor of what's there. So it was nice to see the ball move.
You mentioned previously, just during the club that you guys had been in, that look at your offense on tape, you liked what you were seeing. Was it the same after reviewing everything last night?
Pretty much. Again, I think we had a couple of dry spells where I just didn't think we had great shot selection, a little too quick, maybe not the right opportunities, and we got to clean that up. You can't afford not to be a little bit more consistent over your 48 minutes, and we've had enough games now to be more consistent, and we've played enough where we've been great, really offensively, in terms of decision making and doing the right thing over most of the course of the game. But there's some things to clean up. There's some guys that need to play a little bit better.
On the NBA calendar today, this is a day where a lot of players now around the league become kind of trade eligible. As a coach, is this something at all that guys kind of in the thick of it think about?
I don't think this date is as much of a, I know it's a date that there's a lot of guys have on their contract that they're now tradable, I think, but I don't think it's just a little bit early for guys to get into the trade worries and all that kind of stuff. I think there's been much movement this year, so there hasn't been a lot of talk or thought about it.
Earlier this year, a few of us asked you, how did you feel about mixing the veterans with the new guys? Are you more satisfied than you were a little bit previously?
Well, definitely a lot of our new guys had some great moments when we had all these injuries, right? So, and now it's a balance of we got most of the guys back, and they've kind of got to go back to a little bit smaller roles. It's being able to handle that. It's not easy when you've gone out there and produced, and then all of a sudden, veteran guys are back. So, you know, it's been a little difficult, to be honest, since those guys played so well. It was nice to see them play well. Really give them a lot of credit for being ready and stepping in there and filling it in. But we're going to have to get the rotations squared away again and see how it goes. But it's good because I think a lot of things will happen throughout the season, and you got to have guys that fill in at each position.
Nick, what did you like about Mark's game last night?
Yeah, he was, you know, he's almost always really good. You know what I mean? He's always going to be there defensively. He's always going to pass the ball. Last night, obviously, he hit some shots. He scored a few inside, ton of rebounds. I mean, he was really one of his best games of the year last night. And I hope we can build on it because I think his usage needs to go up. I think we need to throw him the ball to score a little bit more rather than just to be a playmaker. And let's hope we can build on that from last night.